So Christopher Morales Williams out of Georgia goes out there, breaks the world record at the out SEC Indoor Conference Championships a day later, 2 days, 3 days later, finds out his world record will not be ratified because his blocks were not hooked up to a world
That's
athletic
crazy.
system. The knowing that seeing the world athletic system needs to be hooked up to tell if he false starts or something like that, but that wasn't hooked up to his blocks. Yeah, old school dinosaur blocks out there that they had in the 1980s that he started off with.
That just makes it more impressive what he did. But that's crazy, bro. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all know the
Did
boy
they
didn't false start though.
should they give him the world record still?
They should definitely give him the world record, bro. Like, come on, man. We know he didn't false start. We know he didn't false start.
But you need to have these measures in place just in case something happens. These are the rules that World Athletics has put in place. Honestly, this is a bigger issue really on SEC, NCAA, everything like that. Because I'm pretty sure there was an issue during the outdoor season where people in NCAA were all like, hey, why aren't our meets being ranked just as high as these other World Athletics meets that are like silver, gold tier, and everything like that? And like NCAA, if you want to be on this level, you gotta bring your equipment, get everything in order. Like SEC, y'all know you cracked, you know you crazy. Like, come correct, because like this stuff happens.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I'm also, yeah, you could blame it. Who is there to blame? Is it NCAA or is it World Athletics? Like, World Athletics, they have so many different rules. Every year, you got to change your shoe, how much cushion you got under your shoes, because they're not in regulation. Like every single step of the way, there's all these tiny little incremental rules that people get banned for, shoes getting banned. It's kind of hard to keep up with. So I'm like, are y'all not
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
communicating with the
I
SEC?
don't think that's fair, bro. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. It's it's
There's a lot of random rules. I don't know all the
yeah.
rules from Do you even understand the ranking system?
No, no,
Like
no, I don't. But like that's not my
exactly.
job. That's not my job, bro. That's not my job. But if that is your job to understand that as the meet director of SECs, as the commissioner of SECs, to bring the best product, give the best opportunity for your student athletes to be in that situation, it is your job to understand this stuff. And for you not to understand it, like, bro, that's like how you gonna like, bro,
They
like
understand the
that's like
NCAA
somebody coming to your
bylaws.
job and being all like, bro, that's not like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Come on,
The
man.
college basketball is not following the NBA bylaws, bro. Like they understand there's a whole bunch of bylaws and rules already in place in the NCAA that they're keeping up with. That's like them being like they got another job on top of that. So if the World Athletics sees that NCAA is valuable, why not? And there's a bunch of Olympic level athletes, world championship level athletes. Like all I'm saying is that the World Athletics has to make sure what they're doing is accessible to all of I just like how they cater towards the USATF and Jamaica and these other ones. Like NCAA is not the USATF, so it's either you could even say is it
I don't know.
USATF's fault for not integrating with NCAA. I don't know, but it ain't the boys' fault. It's a
No,
tragedy
no one,
for
nothing is
for
it.
our guy.
Nothing is on him. You feel me? He's still the fastest ever in recorded all conditions. Like he's still an NCAA record holder, but he ain't the world record holder. That ain't gonna be ratified. Michael Norman
Yeah,
is not the world record holder either, and he beat Karan Clement's record because I believe they didn't drug test him afterwards. There wasn't a drug tester.
that's
You feel me? So like
can the
that's
NCAA afford all? I mean, they can't afford all that. They got
come
money,
on,
but
man.
I
They
don't
got
know.
hella
I
money,
don't know.
bruh.
But
They
I'm
got
just
hella money.
saying,
NCAA
it's a
can
lot, bro.
SEC can afford all that we're talking about, bro. Because they giving a whole bunch of money to football, and you need to invest that in the track and field because y'all got some of the best indoor meet that happened this past weekend was SEC. Probably the most views on ESPN was
Well, yeah.
SEC. You gotta put funds into that.
I
That's
mean,
on them, bro.
we don't have a real indoor season in the US. Like in the
What do you
indoor
mean? It's
season,
NCAA.
exactly. Like we have Milrose and we have New Balance Grand Prix. Those are the only like real pro meets. Everything else is NCAA's. SEC, that meat is as high caliber as some of the meats that happen over in Europe that are the real professional, um, the real professional indoor meets. So I'm blaming the whole sport of track and field, bro. Just like of how confusing this sport is. That's what I'm blaming. Cause like something ain't clearly there's definitely some disconnect, you know. There's definitely disconnect somewhere.
Well, I'm blaming SEC, but I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Possible, always with the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, and you're watching and listening to your favorite two black runners every single.
Two black, Tuesday. Back again. Joshua, track is going crazy right now. There's great results out there, but we got a lot of upcoming meets. There's a lot of just track culture that's came up. Like we just talked about that world record. People opening up pro leagues. We got a lot to talk about. Today.
Nah, for real. There is a lot to talk about. There's a lot to get to, and we're going to get to it all on this episode of Two Black Runners Podcast. We realize it's not a Tuesday. We realize that, you feel me? We're coming at you on a Thursday. But when you listen to this podcast, you get entered into that Two Black Tuesday realm and really get to feel everything. But Aaron, let's get into it. You know what I mean? Like you said, meets coming up this weekend. We got so much to talk to. So we don't want to concentrate a whole bunch on world indoors. You feel me? Because world indoors is crazy. But I do got some false starts, Aaron.
Oh, no. I believe Usain Bolt false started. I think Usain Bolt just false started.
Because I got some takes, and I just want you to tell me, let me know if these takes are a false start. Am I wilding right now? Am I wilding by thinking this way? Let me know. All right, first up right here. There is no doubt Noah Lyles is going to lose this 60, bro. There is no doubt in my mind he's going to lose. He's world number one. He's ran 6.43. This man's unstoppable. We've been saying he has plot armor. There's no way Noah Lyles loses this 60. Is that a false start?
You know what? That is a false start because I can't disrespect the world record holder and Christian Coleman. There is a way. Let's go back to anime. Christian Coleman right now, he may be like a Sasuke and he might get one in real quick. You know what I'm saying? He might get one in. I could see that. So I still think there is a chance that Christian Coleman goes back to the lab, looks at film, and figures out, you know, what was it within his process of the race that he needs to correct. And unless Noah Lyles is about to run 6.34 or something, I think there's still a chance that he could win. So I think it's a false start to say there's no doubt.
We'll see. It's going to be an interesting race to see what really happens in the 60. Christian Coleman really doesn't lose in this at all. 2017, he was undefeated. 2018, undefeated. 2022, he lost one race. He's only lost about 260 races over a span of about 7 years. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens this weekend. Next up, bro, I was looking at the start list, especially on the men's side, looking at the 1500. And we got my man Hobbs Kessler, we got Cole Hawker, and we got Henry Wynn representing the U.S., bro. I'm looking at it. An American man is medaling in the men's 1500 meter. I was going to say that we going to win it, but like, hold on, bro. At least American man is medaling in this event.
That's 100% valid. That's 100% valid. Like Cole Hawker is bringing home a medal. That 805 at Milrose really impressed me. He was not satisfied with it. I think he's healthy, and it's time. It's time for him to get that medal, get that monkey off his back, and he's going to be heading into the Olympic trials feeling real confident.
And the crazy thing is that Hobbs Kessler, he's leading. He's the #1 seed right now. And this man is only, what, 20 years old? I know we got Samuel Tefera in there. He's a 2-time world champion right now, has a PR of 3:31, but 2-time he's won this. In the last 2 world indoors, he's won the 1500 meter. But I have a feeling Hobbs and Cole Hawker are going to give this man some real trouble. And I also, as well, let me know right here, Gudaf Tsegay. We saw her, what she did at the Prefontaine Classic when she almost broke, was it 14 minutes, for women, like completely just insane.
Crazy,
she's going to be
bro.
racing the 3000 meter. She's already ran 8:17 this year. I think a lot of people are expecting her to not have a lot of company, but I'm saying Gudaf Tsegay will have a lot of company in the 3000 meter. Is that a false start?
That's 100% a false start. I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't nobody touching Gudaf Tsegay. She ran 8:17 this year. Next fastest up is 8:24. Jessica. Gudaf Tsegay on Faith Kipyegon level, on Stefan Hassan type level, and I think she's gonna break the world record.
I agree with you. I think she's gonna break the world record too. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this world record, but like, I think Jess Hull, Ellie St. Pierre, Laura Muir, Patrice Kepchoic, Haru Messiah, all these women are running amazing right now. I know you said 8:24.
No, they running good.
But these are competitive women that are pushing, that are gonna be with Tsegay. But Tsegay is obviously, she's probably gonna win this race. But like, she's gonna have company, bro. Believe it. I believe it.
Those women, nothing against them. Laura Muir, straight beast. I can't.
Dog.
Jessica Hull, straight beast. Like dog. Beatrice, straight beast. But that's a whole different animal when we start talking about Gudaf Tsegay. Like, that's a generational talent. We may never see someone that good. She almost broke 14 minutes. She's going to break 14 minutes. So I don't think anyone here, they gonna be about like 100 meters behind. That's a lot, but
you sleep because you don't realize that Ellie got that mommy power now. You feel me? She got that mom power. That's gonna get her over the line. Come on.
I'm not sure. Gudaf may have kids too, bro. So I don't know, but I would love to see it.
I'm just saying that's just changing the game for Ellie though. She's running different now. She's running big different. She's running real different. All right, last up right here, my last one. I'm thinking, bro, it's going crazy. We just talked about Christopher Morales in the beginning. He's running wild. Femke Bol breaking world records. Jevin Charlton tying her world record. This weekend, more world records are falling at World Indoors. I don't know how many, but just more are falling at World Indoors. Is that a false start?
No, that's facts. That's 100% valid. The men's shot put feels like the world record gets broken like every day. So that's definitely going to get broke. I think the pole vault, I can see the pole vault. I haven't seen what Mondo been doing this year, but I feel like he breaks the indoor record every year. I don't know if the 60 hurdles are going to get broken again, but in the women or the men. I feel like you just kind of have to run. You just have those days on the hurdles where I feel like they just run like the perfect race. Like you just get out the blocks, you get over everything clean. You get through the process of your race just so cleanly. So I don't know if we'll see that again. But I think the women's 3K, the men's shot put, and the men's pole vault world records going down.
About the men 3K, we're gonna have this matchup of Josh Kerr, who just broke the world best in the 2-mile, British record in the 3000 meter of his split, and then Yared Nuguse, I believe he's like top 5 all time. I think that's something that's definitely for the tanking, as a matchup that's not really being talked about as much in the lead up, I feel like, or as kind of sizzled out in a way, especially we have this Noah Lyles versus Christian Coleman, but like in the distance world, these are two heavyweights going at it in the 3000. I think the world record can definitely go down here of that 7:23.
I know, I agree. That's definitely possible. All depends on how the race goes out. We know if Jakob was in that, that they would be, we would say world records going down, because he's gonna just go hard from the gun. But I mean, Yared and Josh are not afraid of taking it hard from the gun either. So that's definitely a race that I'm looking at as well. Can they go under 7:23? It's possible, But with rounds and everything, it's like, are they gonna do it? We'll see.
It's a high probability. It's going to be exciting to definitely see. And like we just went through the whole world indoors. Those are some of the most exciting things that you're going to be looking out for at world indoors. There's definitely more. It's going to be an exciting weekend for everything to watch. And it's just so much competition, and that's what everybody's looking for. That's what people are trying to change in the track and field world. And we have one of the most polarizing individuals in the sport ever, Michael Johnson, entering the game really to try and change this sport. He started his own pro league. From Sporting Co, he went out there and he said that he aims to better engage existing fans by providing a TV-friendly product to promote the sport's biggest stars and draw new audiences through unique storytelling. While details of the league with a planned debut in 2025 are still being worked out, the goal is to provide the sport with an entirely that more closely resembles major U.S. sport leagues. He's teaming up with Winners Alliance, that's a global athlete licensing and sponsorship firm, and they're serving as the operator and capital partner. And they claim that they already have made the single largest investment in track and field history
Seven
for this
figure
fit
sum.
7 figures. This is all coming from Sporting Co.
Okay.
Michael Johnson wants to bring sport for the fans. That's his whole mission. That is his plan and everything. And just could we get that every 4 years in the Olympics, but he wants to do that all year around or during that season in the in-between time. Is this the answer? Is this the answer right here, Aaron? 2025 Winter Alliance and Michael Johnson. Is this going to save our sport, bro?
And if there is anybody I trust, it's Michael Johnson. We've had him on this very podcast. Go listen to that episode, and he talked about this. I don't know if we talked to him about it on that podcast, but we definitely offline. Like he talked about wanting to create a league, and if you've ever listened to him speak about track and field, he points out a lot of the obvious things that we all know need to be done to really to elevate the sport. So I'm excited. I have a lot of questions. Like, what time of the year will this take place? You know, will there be any involvement with World Athletics, or is this something that they would see as competition to what they're doing? Or are they gonna come at him? Are they gonna be trying to pigeonhole him like the way we see the NBA kind of react to the big three? We know that there's issues and contention there. So does this cause any contention between Michael Johnson's league and World Athletics, and what does it mean for the the brand sponsorships with Nike and things like that? Like, what athletes can he get to come over? Are they gonna be able to do both? There's a lot of questions that have to be answered. But I think it's good that we have a legend in our sport who's also someone we've seen behind the scenes on TV, announcing and everything. So we know he has that eye for entertainment and focus. Um, so I think it's a good step in the right direction.
It definitely is interesting. My only concern is that I feel like every single time a sport in a sport and someone comes out and says, I'm creating a new league that's fan centered, it's never really like hits the same. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that come out and say, I'm gonna make a fan-centered league for basketball, football, and we're gonna focus more on the fans and the stories. But it never overtakes the
And the
NFL.
XFL.
And yeah, it never overtakes the thing. So I think the big thing will be, can he attract those stars? And someone like a Michael Johnson, I think he will have the ability to. Like, this is the one of the greatest to ever do it, like top five for sure. And like one of the best definitely ever in the US. So I think he definitely has the ability to do that, but it's just thought like, what does fan centered really mean? I think he will be able to work through with World Athletics. I'm kind of seeing it. I don't know if it will be like American Track League, but you could still race in those meets and just do whatever it is, or is it going to be more like a draft? Or is he going to try and make some brand loyalty for some people, and like and city loyalty and just some type of team loyalty in that way? But I hope it's definitely a TV product um that's just different. I think that may be the main result, and I think that's gonna be my hope from it. If we can get some TV product that has more production, has more stories being told, and is really building up each race to be like uh Jacob versus Josh Kerr, you know what I mean? And to be these superstar fights and but it could be somebody that's not on that level, but we're building it up in that way. I think that production level can be different. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
I think the toughest thing is gonna be is because basically to me, if you told me the track and if someone was to ask me what is the track and field league, it's the Diamond League. That is our professional league. That's the closest thing that we have it. Those series of meets, the level that they're at, but they're just take place in Europe. But that's really where the sport is and where it shines. That's where there are somewhat storylines and the biggest stars are competing. So that's going to be the hardest thing is like how do you pull athletes away from their season from diamond leagues to the league that he's going to be creating, and it's money. It's going to be money, like what's the prize money? Cuz Europe has had a stronghold on this sport for so long, and I just talked about it earlier with indoors. Most of the real indoor meets like are out there. When you see a European indoor meet, it looks the stadium looks incredible. It's completely filled. Like it looks so much more official than what it does over here. And you could say the same about their outdoor meets because that's where we have the Diamond League meets. So, do we have the stadiums in the U.S. to even make it represent a professional a professional sport? And can you pull those athletes out of the middle of their season? Because it can't be like American Track League where it's like those meets don't, I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't matter as much. They don't matter as much. They're so early in the season. We want to see the athletes race when they're in peak performance shape, like in the summertime. And that's where I see the conflicts.
Maybe that's not what he's chasing after though. Because if he's chasing after that, definitely in the first couple years, he's not going to get what he wants. If he's chasing after, I want to get these fast performances, these big athletes, and these really good marks, I'm not, like that's an impossible task. Definitely with World Athletics and the Diamond League, they got a chokehold on it, like you said. But I think a focus on the athletes and like how they said fan centered, if they can tell really dope stories, if they can bring great creators and not just creators, but a great TV director. Like if you get a TV
Yeah.
director that's been on the Super Bowl, for example, or NBA games, and now they're telling this story of track and field in a totally different way and unique way that's worked in the NBA and UFC, maybe, and all these different places, that could possibly be a change and a shift to where it's all like you got some athlete that people may not know on the world stage, but they're an aspiring Olympian. And then we get to see that journey through this Winners
Yeah.
Alliance and Michael Johnson League that we don't really care about the time that they run, but we care about who wins the race. So that's where I kind of see where it could be fan centered and we don't have to worry about if Grant Holloway's there breaking the world record. But if that happens, that's nice. But either way, we're there for the fight. We're there for to see who wins this thing.
It makes me kind of, I know this is kind of going long on this topic, but it makes me think about the basketball league that Overtime has created. I don't know if y'all have heard of that, like the OTE teams. If we have
Hmm.
any younger listeners, they probably know about it, but a lot of the athletes, a lot of the kids, they're high schoolers and they're basically in this kind of pro league. They're super well known on social media and people know who they are. And then once they do, we're gonna start seeing people from there like make it to the next level. But that's kind of a fan centered type of league in a way. But Michael Johnson, man, I don't know if you be listening to the pod, bro. Like, you know, you always welcome if you want to come on here and just like chop it up real quick. Let us know.
But then we could talk about this too, Aaron, since we're talking about a change of league. And I really think this move right here is going to be revolutionary for world athletics. And we're talking about how this could be competitive. This could be competition for world athletics, as his league could be pulling people from the Diamond League or Continental Tour races and just having more opportunities and widespread out of. I don't know. This could even invoke more dodging as well. But the good thing that I think we found out is that the World Athletics season will be ending at the World Championship from here on out. Sevco came out in a statement. This comes from City Mag, reading this off their Twitter. They said from an announcement and a press release, he said this. They announced that starting in 2025, the outdoor track and field season will end at the World Championships. Sebco said that World Athletics said this will create a season-long narrative that builds to the natural crescendo of the World Athletic Championships each year, while at the same time allowing for a more consistent global calendar to be established. Each season from 2025 onwards will end with the World Athletics Championships, meaning this is a clear season climax during a defined window in mid-September. I don't know what podcast episode it was, but believe me, in 2023, we were talking about this. I
For
think Sevco listens
100%.
to the podcast. I really think he does.
Yeah, and he definitely listens to the podcast, but like it just makes more sense for that to be the last standing race. And that kind of makes it more of a league. I know it's still a series of meets. It makes the Diamond League meets build up to something rather than it be something that we have some diamond right now. There's Diamond League meets before World Championships, but then there's also some afterwards. And people run fast afterwards. People run championship I'm not championship, like world records and things like that. But if we have all of the diamond leagues before world championships, that can grab the attention of the track and field community for much longer. A lot of people just tune in for the world championship. But now, for us specifically in the US or anywhere in the world, you get to June, you know exactly who your team is going to be. And then you basically see them race over time, like in Europe or wherever. But if it is like Diamond Leagues, I'm just saying that because that's the biggest meets. That's really cool to me because now you're getting hyped. And then those people that think they should have made a team or beat that good person, they're there like testing them and they're pushing them. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that affects like some of the early meets in the year because it's also going to affect how athletes train and prepare for the world championships because last like in Prefontaine one year, was that last year? It was like in September. So
Yeah, that was
like
last year.
the world championships could possibly get moved to like it could be what if it's from August 28th to September 9th? That's way later in the season. So you're gonna see people open up much later. And that kind of makes the trials race kind of early. Maybe it gets moved up a couple weeks. I
I
don't
think you
know.
just shortened the Diamond League, bro. I don't think we need track season that long, honestly, because like, bro, like we were saying, like honestly, shortening the season may be better. I think you can distribute the content and
Focus.
just releasing everything better. And right when Diamond League ends, you don't have to start gearing up for the New York City Marathon or whatever, or Berlin. I think Berlin's like in September, right? Like you don't have to start gearing up for the next big, or is it Chicago? Berlin or Chicago are like right after
Yeah.
pre Prefontaine. I think Berlin and Chicago are like right in that time. So like you don't have to just switch over to something super fast and start just focus the season, shorten the Diamond League, do it how it is in the World Championships in that sweet spot of uh July, whatever that is, beginning of August, July, and like let us just rest after that. You know what I mean? Let the athletes rest, let the World Athletics creative team rest and like, all right, let's focus up for the next season and go to this crescendo of World Athletics, our NBA finals, and it's all over.
Well,
It's a small move, but something that could be revolutionary. That it's such a small move, but it's something that's totally that you approach, I think, the construction of just the season as a creator and creating these storylines so much differently.
So this year, the first Diamond League is April 20th. Last Diamond League is September 13th in Brussels. And there's about uh, like 15 of these meets. But then, so it's like, it looks like there's almost in April, there's two. In May, there's about one, two, three, four. June, we have one. And then in July, we have three. And in August, we also have three. So that's not too many. Let's say if in late June, in late June is the trials for the US, then from there there's about one, two, three, four, five, like about 7 meets until world championships. I don't think that's that bad. I mean, you don't have to go to every single one, but some of them are gonna feature people who are on the team, and some of them may not, you know. But I think there's a lot of good that comes from this move. I think it was a smart move, and just makes logical sense.
No, yeah, no, absolutely. And moving on, I think a lot of people are saying this makes logical sense, and so we got to talk about it. Noah Lyles signs one of the resigns with Adidas through the year 2028, the LA Olympics. He put out a statement on his Instagram. I don't know who this is actually from though, but it said a partnership through the end of the decade, including both this year's Olympic Games in Paris and the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Details of the contract are not available, but the agreement involves extensive commitments both on and off the track and is the richest contract in the sport of track and field since the retirement of the Usain St. Leo Bolt. The richest since Usain Bolt. Bolt reportedly made 10 million a year. This isn't over that, but the richest since then.
10 million a year, good for him.
So Kyle Murray on the lap count, I'll put this out since he said he thinks that he may, doing the math, it may be about 2.3 million a year. That's what he think Noah Lyles may be making. Is this a deserving Aaron for Noah Lyles, bro? Does this make
Definitely
him?
deserving, bro. Definitely deserving. But what I'm wondering, 2.3 to 10, that's a big difference. But hey, 2.3, get your bag. Like he doing great. He doing great. But Usain was doing different, I guess. But what about Sha'Carri though? I'm like, is he getting more than Sha'Carri? That's what I'm wondering. Do we know if he's getting more money than Sha'Carri?
When was the last time? I don't know when the last time Sha'Carri re-signed. We don't know these type of
I thought
things
they
because
posted
track and
something about her.
fields.
She resigned to Nike. I thought recently. She didn't say nothing about the money she got though.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
yeah,
Th-
I mean, what
They
does
don't
it
report on
mean
that. We don't report on that in track and field.
exactly? So it's like, it's exciting, but like it's expected. Of course, no one's getting the same amount of money as Usain Bolt. But if
But
someone was the beginning, basically, you're saying Noah Lyles is getting paid the most out of all the athletes. That's
yeah,
all you're basically saying, and it's
he's
just
getting
like
paid the most since what 2019, 2018, whenever Usain Bolt retired. But I think from this, Aaron, what I want to know from you, because I remember back in when we were in 2022, the podcast that you weren't on, I was talking about like I think we're in a golden age of track and field. We have so many different stars, and no one really emerged yet as that one big star. We had sha'carri doing her thing, and she just came off the suspension, but she was still there. No, she didn't make the team in 2022 and when we were in Eugene, Oregon. She didn't make the team. But we still have Michael Norman, we had Cindy McLaughlin, we had Grant Holloway, Ry Benjamin, Noah Lyles. Like there's so many great athletes in the US at that time. It looks like Noah Lyles has emerged as the face and like the face that Usain Bolt was for 10 years in the sport. Do you think this solidifies him as like the face? Has he became the complete face of track and field with this deal?
Noah became. It's hard because it's between him and Sha'Carri, in my opinion, but I think Noah became the face when he said the world
NBA.
championship thing. Yeah. That's what really like made him like the face of track and field and a representative. I mean, he was stand up for his people too. He was standing on business. So I respect it. But I feel like that pushed him into that realm of being the face. But I still think Sha'Carri and Sydney McLaughlin, it's hard to say. I feel like they're right there as well. They're just as known. Or Sha'Carri, I feel like, is even more known than Noah Lyles. The basketball thing is the thing that put him up there, but I think Sha'Carri is still. I still feel like Sha'Carri is more the face of track.
Do you think it's a negative that Noah Lyles is available? Sha'Carri and Sydney, like, there's no way, like, they're probably not gonna come onto this podcast. They're just not. Like, it would be a very like if that happened, that would be such a big get. But it's not, I mean, just because of us.
I'm
There's
not
no
gonna say that. I'm not gonna
it's
say they
it
ain't gonna come on. You never
but
know.
no, but it's so crazy if it'll be crazy if Sha'Carri or Sidney McLaughlin went on Chris Chavez's podcast on Sidious. Like, that would be such a big deal. Noah Lyles would be on City's Mac podcast. He would probably go on here. You feel me? He's available to
Yeah.
anybody. Do you think his availability could, is it water it down a little bit, in a way?
No, I don't think it's watered down. I think it's just this personality. I think it's just his personality and that's who he is. And when he retires from track and field, whenever that is, he's still gonna be that person that is available um to anyone regardless of who you are. Like he's just here. Not saying that those other two aren't trying to help the sport, and I'm sure they're available in different ways. But I think it's just a reflection of who he is as a person and what his goals are and how open he is. I just think Sha'Carri and Sydney, they stay focused in a different type of way. Like, like he's just like Energizer Bunny. He doesn't mind really interacting with fans and people, and he he's really a born like star. He feeds off the attention, and he's probably just a crazy extrovert in comparison to them. Um, but that he's used that to his advantage, and it's gotten him to where he is with getting this contract, getting TV, doing the Peacock, doing the stuff he doing on Peacock, the documentary and stuff like that. Like that's why Adidas is paying him more because he doing good for them. He putting in work for them to make sure that he's an advocate for track and field. Hugely. So I think that plays. But I'm not saying that Sydney and Sha'Carri, what they're doing doesn't elevate the sport and bring it up. I think Noah just that's just how he does it in his way, and it's good for him. It's almost cool that like Sha'Carri isn't available, that Sydney isn't available. It makes them more larger than life, you know, more like
Yeah,
a
no,
superhero.
exactly, exactly. So that is it's interesting to think about, but I like that he's available, and I think it really provides this element that we see in other sports, like I see something when I scroll through Instagram, I see something about LeBron James every single day. Like, you feel me? I see something about that every single day. And you can love that about LeBron or you can hate that about LeBron. But no matter what, you're reminded about who he is every day. And you're reminded about who he is every single day. And like, that you have a reaction to it every single time you see it. You know what I mean? So like the same time that pretty much just about every single time I open up my Instagram and go onto a track page, it's something about Noah Lyles and I have a reaction to it. And like that reaction is polarizing enough that is pulling me to watch the World Indoor Championships this weekend. So like Noah, hats off to you and big ups because he's doing things as well that's lifting up other people with him. Like he just did
Yeah.
his podcast Sprint Talk now. He brought on Total Running Productions, someone in the media. He brought in Joseph Famulé. He just had Masai Russell. I haven't listened to that one, but Masai Russell's on the podcast now. So he's bringing up people with him. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be a really cool thing that I hope we get to see from him in the future as well.
I think just imagine when he's done running, all the cool things that he's gonna bring to track and field, and it's because he's experimenting now. He's connecting and networking with people like Total Running Productions or even Masai Russell, all the stuff that she does. So that's gonna help him generate more ideas and find gaps and figure out. Don't be surprised if one day he behind the scenes like working with Michael Johnson on the league and stuff like that.
Oh, seeing into the future now. All right, bro. So before we get out of this podcast, bro, I want to play a little game with you. This is the first time we did this, but I want you to play this little guessing game. Who do you think AI picked as their top 9 best indoor NCAA athletes in history?
All right, I'm gonna say Christian Coleman.
There you go. Okay, that's number 4. Okay, Aaron. Okay.
Hey, you see me? I'm gonna say Edward Cheserek.
Number 3, Edward Cheserek. Number 3.
I'm gonna say Sydney McLaughlin.
Sydney McLaughlin is not on the list.
Athing Mu.
Not on the list.
That's crazy. What? She
Not
broke
on the
like
list.
every record, bro.
I'll tell you, there's only 2 women on the list. Neither of them
Okay,
are
so
Sydney
I
McLaughlin or Athing Mu.
Did I say Lowy Lang already?
Not on the list.
That's crazy. That boy was different, bro. Grant Holloway.
Not on the list.
What? That boy was crazy in college. Javon
You gotta go
Harris.
deeper. You gotta go deeper into your bag, bro.
I gotta go way back. Go way back. So Cheserek and Coleman are on there. Shoot. I'm just gonna like.
Don't we give you a hint, bro?
Yeah, let me get a hint.
Your favorite runner of all time.
Lagat.
There you go. Number 1. He's number 1 on the list.
Oh, we must have been going crazy. Okay, we got Lagat on there. Shoot, I'm just gonna throw some names out. Michael Johnson.
Not on the list.
Wallace Spearman.
Not on the list. I'm
Bro,
gonna give you the rest.
hard.
I'm gonna give you the rest. Number 10, they had Donovan Brazier.
Okay, yeah.
Number 9, Paul Ehring from University of Virginia is number 9. Number 8, Sally Kipyego. Number 6, LaShawn Merritt. Number 2, the one you missed, Galen Rupp out of Oregon.
I didn't think I was about to say Galen Rupp because it's just so basic, but I was like, no, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess he won titles. It's hard. Indoor is also weird.
No, it is weird. It's weird. And it's interesting enough. So I was trying to do a little bit of research on each of these athletes, give you a stat with it. Didn't have enough time. But Galen Rupp in 2009, he had a really big performance. He helped Oregon win their first indoor NCAA championship. And in doing that, he won the 3K, 5K, and the DMR. I think we can see that same thing in 2 weeks with our guy from California, Newberry Park. Nico Young is entered in the 5K, 3K, and the DMR. We have all the entries. They're out now. Aaron, I want to ask you, and we'll just talk about it. What are some of let's go to the men first. On the men's side, what events, what athletes are you excited to really see compete at NCAAs?
I mean, shoot, you just started it off with Nico. You're right. Like, I know they did a DMR the other day. I don't know. He's probably entering the 5K and the 3K, right? Like,
yeah, he's in all 3.
That would be crazy, and it's definitely possible. And this could just be his show. So I'm super excited to see what he does. Tenoda, the freshman, boy been going crazy. Let's see if he could get a championship, bro. Can he come back and he win actually and bring a championship home?
Yeah, it's really wild to see that Tenoda Matsatsa, like to see. But I don't know, it's crazy, but it's also not surprising at all because we had this such great class last year, and no shots at those kids at all because they're all incredible, and I'm excited to see once we get like Simeon on the track and to see everybody. Leo and Lex have been running great, honestly. They've been running great as well indoors. But to see that Tenoda, the fact that he was able to break 4 minutes was so telling for somebody that was already running 148, 147. now running 146.87, number 8 in the NCAA. Like, yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see what that dude does at the NCAA's.
Also, Michaela Rose in the 800. And what is she gonna do up against Juliet Whitaker, Roisin Willis? Um, that'll be exciting. I'm actually
Oh
want to
yeah,
check this out right now. How has Sophia done this year?
dude, this 800 is insane.
Oh,
So
Sophia
let's talk about
Brown's number 6. Okay.
the slowest time to get into this 800 is 202.86. Honestly, bro, this is USA's.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
USA's. This is making the team. And I think I don't know, it's gonna at the end of the season, once all these girls are trying to make the Olympics, it's going to hinder and help them. It's going to help them because like they are getting the experience of this high level racing right now. You know what I mean? Like these
Yeah,
girls are
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
running fast when they get to this line at NCAA's and when they have to go through the rounds. Like they're getting a lot of experience. But it's going to hinder them because they are trying really hard for this right now and they're racing a lot. But it's just going to be super exciting because we are seeing the 800's already stacked right now in USA's, but we are definitely seeing the future and possibly the now with Michaela Rose, Juliet Whitaker, Sophia Goriaran, Roisin Willis. Like all these girls are the ones I didn't even mention that are gonna come out of nowhere are amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 159.25 for Michaela Rose this year. She just ran that at SEC's. That is moving. I might be a US number 1. I saw Nia Atkins run 159 the other week, but she's a
She ran
true
158
contender. Oh, she ran
undersized
158. Ooh, dang. Oh, yeah, at
UW.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm super excited to just see how Michaela Rose does. I was trying to look up really quick what is like the NCAA indoor record because I feel like she has to be.
I think she was right off of it at SEC's. Like that's what she was chasing. So I wouldn't be surprised if that went down because she's hunting. She's hunting
Yeah.
that record. As you look for that too, I think another great matchup is going to be in the 60-meter hurdles. Jasmine Jones versus Grace Stark versus Aaliyah Armstrong. Grace Stark beat Aaliyah Armstrong at the 60 meters SECs in the hurdles, which was I think was surprising. You know, Grace Stark coming back from injury and she got it done and ran that race. Jasmine Jones was second place at USA's indoors in the 60-meter hurdles. I believe I think she's the second fastest American in in the 60-meter hurdles right now indoors. So like that the 60 like last year it was a totally it was Grace Stark, Leah Armstrong, and Masai Russell. Jasmine Jones enters this spot and is now the top person in the country. So like the hurdles never disappoints on the women's sides and it's gonna be exciting.
Shoot. Yeah, yeah. A thing ran 158.4 when she was in college. Excuse me.
Indoors
That's
or outdoors?
it says indoor. Hold up. Yeah, this is the indoor collegiate
Golly.
records. That's crazy. All right. I don't know if she gonna break that, but 60-meter hurdle should be dope. Women's 5K as well. Parker Valby been having a great year. Um, just excited from on the distance for the women. I've heard both Parker Valby in the 5K. You know, she's been doing great since cross country. But Mia Ramsden from Harvard, 424. She ran that at Milrose. That's just off. That was just off the collegiate record. The collegiate records it's 424.26 by Caitlin Tui, and she's ran 424.83. So a lot of talent on the women's sides. From that 60 to the 8, it's very diverse all around.
And then lastly, well, if you have something else too, I want to talk about field events for a second because I think we're in a unique position at this time. Maya Lesnar is the best shot putter in the NCAA, and everyone needs to watch out. If you guys don't know, her father is Brock Lesnar. You feel me? Third best
Oh
in the
shoot.
U.S. this year. Uh, Maya Lesnar is the best shot putter in the NCAA. I don't. We may be saying his name for about 10 more years, bruh. So like, I don't, Colorado State doing her thing, best in the U.S., third best in the U.S. right now. Like, shoot. Best of luck, Miles Lesnar. Here comes the pain.
Yeah. Now here comes. I feel like she's just intimidating. Whenever she would step into the to that circle, that's who you're going against. Especially knowing that her dad is Brock Lesnar. I don't know. It just makes you when you hear that Lesnar last name, you just know, they hands. They got hands. Got
And
to.
and can act, can do any play for like
That's
Brock
true.
Lesnar is a freak athlete, a very a freak.
UFC to WWE to movies, like
Minnesota Vikings, bro.
your boy play on the Vikings.
Yes, man.
Yeah, that dude's crazy.
I think he's the only athlete to appear in the UFC in a UFC video game, Madden, and a WWE video game.
Dang. Dang, there's not another person. Yeah. The Rock
Who
didn't
else
make it
does?
to the league. No.
No, yeah. But The Rock didn't play. He didn't do UFC.
He said what?
The Rock didn't do UFC. That's the thing. Like
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You didn't do the
that's
UFC.
crazy. To be a UFC World Heavyweight Champion is like that
Yeah,
dude's
no,
sick.
that's crazy.
Straight sick. Straight sick.
He's like,
Well,
I
I'm
can fight for real.
surprised. I'm surprised we kept this all under an hour. Is there anything we missed before we get out of here, bro? They need to get off your chest.
Appreciate everybody, y'all. Hey, y'all really are supporting me in this LA marathon. We gonna be good. We gonna be straight, bro. I got a 14 miler in last Sunday. Probably gonna. It was a really hilly. Probably gonna do another like 14 to 16 this weekend. And hey, man, it's done. Now, I know I got a whole nother week after this, but really, this is the last week of training, bro. Like, there's nothing that you can do to affect your performance after this week because I'm about like 3 weeks out or two or wait 2 weeks out. Hold up, it's on the 17th and today is the 28th. Y'all hearing this on the 29th. So yeah, there's nothing I could do next week that's gonna make me like better or worse. So just trying to stay focused this week, you know, have a good long run, and then we just send it. March 17th, baby. We going.
Okay. All right, man. I'll be there at mile. Well, where do you want me to be? You want me to be at mile 18 with the
My where's the fun mile? It's usually that's where they usually say, right? Because that's where they be in New York. Like,
I don't think they say it's the fun mile.
it's not the fun mile, but it's where everyone be all the fans be like hyped up, like, hey. But because I after that, that's where it gets hard. Once you get
I'll get
past
like,
mile 18, that's when you start, body start hurting.
we'll make sure the family's around like mile 20, bro, just in case. Like we gotta like,
Yeah, just in case I need to get carted off,
yeah, we'll be there with a wheelchair.
Start doing that walk. I hope not, bro. I did cramp up during the half, but I wasn't training that much. I was like, oh shoot. Like I just gotta make sure. That's the only thing that's gonna hold me back, bro. It's not gonna be the running. It's just like it's all about the nutrition. I'm about to go on a run right now. I'm gonna take a goo before I go. Just so I gotta get my body used to it.
Yeah, make sure you put it in the right place, bro. Don't want to end up like Fiona O'Keefe bleeding or something. You feel me?
Oh, was that what that was? Did that chafe on her chest and made her bleed? Or it was
Yeah, like she put
goose?
it like in her sports bra, and then like it was like chafing, and she just
Just route it
dug,
out.
bro,
I feel
thuggish.
you though. Hey, yeah.
That's
The
that.
she was saying the wrapper, or like she already used it and she just didn't want to throw it on the ground.
No, I think she didn't use it yet,
Dang.
bro. There was a
You
lot of
gotta
blood, bro. That's a
I
lot of
know I
blood.
seen it. I never knew what it was. You gotta thug it out, bro. You need the goo though. Like you have to take that in the marathon. Like that could be the difference maker of you finishing.
Shoot. Well, it's been a good one, bro. I'm gonna get out of here. Think about what field event I want to try out this year, either pole vault or long jump. So we're gonna be thinking about those things going into the to March. But it's been a good February. Excited for March coming up, the best month of the year. You feel me? Especially today, March 16th, probably the best day that I think everyone's favorite day, to be honest. But
Don't be hating on
appreciate
Black History Month. Hey, we got one extra day for Black History Month, y'all. Turn up. This don't happen often. We got an extra day. We should be celebrating on Friday, on the 29th. That's basically like another Juneteenth. Like we should be, you know,
turning
because they
up.
be trying to cut back on us. That's crazy.
I never heard someone say that February 29th should be like a Juneteenth. Hey, every 4 years.
That's crazy, right? We get an extra day every 4 years, bro. We should turn it up on the 29th every time we get it.
Make a good point. Make a good point. But hey, we'll see y'all next week on the Two Black Runners podcast. Appreciate y'all. If y'all listen this far, man, make sure y'all rate the podcast, send it to a friend, share it with somebody. You put on your story. Let us know you're listening. I don't know, something. Like we in here for the long haul, but we also do appreciate when you give us a little shout out. You feel me? But yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Let's get it.